Good afternoon. This is Kara at the Ministry of Uncovering No More. Bay says good afternoon as well. Dusty was just newly groomed and says hello. I just am going to show you some beautiful roses given to me. And then I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to take you upstairs to this glassware is stuff that was in my parents' house, parents in our house at Crestview Drive. My brother dropped dead twice, but that was not at this house where we were raised. We were strict Pentecostals at that house. I think we moved when I was 12 or so. I can't remember now. I want to talk about something that is so painful to me. As I was taking Dusty to be groomed today in Pflugerville. It's a new groomer, and an older gentleman, and just so nice. I just kept wondering, how am I going to explain this? And I really think it was best that to explain it, I first showed you Beauty of Gen Z, because what happened in Pflugerville 2 days ago or a day ago was just so wrong. And it was a black person, and she was 70, and she just was so rude, and it was overwhelming to me, because I've had so many white people be mean, and then it just doesn't matter anymore. It just seems like to me that some of us just take it and keep taking it. Well, I produced this beautiful piece of artwork today. So that's good, but I need to talk about reverse racism. And I will read this rune. I'm going to be making the runes like this. This is a magnet, and I'm going to be putting them on my board. This is painted. This is one of the runes, and I think I'm gonna go across, because I'll only do 24 of the 25. You don't ever mess with mystery, which is Odin, or it should be Shekinah, if you're talking about some religions. That's Tadashi. Reverse racism is actually in the Bible. And that is where the King of Kings and the teachers of the New Testament tell you that there is neither male nor female. There is neither Jew nor Gentile. And you know, we've got the Palestinians and the Jews right now doing it again. We've got this stupidity, absolute murderous stupidity going on in our federal government, when there's also huge breakthroughs, beautiful people. You saw the roses. Gen Z, you know, she invests in my life constantly, and she's got pain in her life, not because of her beautiful family, but because of the society, and all of my kids do. And well, that's why we keep going. One of my daughters did this puzzle. I'm painting this. You know, we just keep going. I go into their homes, and they're beautiful. They have paintings that they've done, or that their siblings have done and given them. I keep using runes. I keep producing my own art. I keep doing all of this and love with this country, and yet there is such a thing as reverse racism. And I've got young men in my life that are faithful men, paying the bills, raising families, white, just as white as me, and they get hit with this. They get used by women of their same color skin or other colors. They get chewed up and spit out on a regular basis, and they're still faithful. Same with the girls. And it doesn't matter which race, we just get hit. We get hit. Well, for me, it's slightly different as a Gen X, okay? But I'm not gonna go into that. I'm going to tell you that reverse racism exists, and it means that some black person or some American Indian person or some this person or that person. Maybe they're Germans but white, maybe they're Russians but white, but they're in this country, or maybe and the Hispanics may have a problem with this. I don't know. Don't hate me for the truth. You look at white people and all you see is the misuse of money and capitalism and power. That's all you see. And you can, and I'm trying to stay nice, because that's not America. That's wrong, and there's tons of white people telling you, you shouldn't have been treated that way, we shouldn't still be being treated this way, and we are all universalists. And no, we don't like it that the government is doing this, okay? There's something else I'm doing. I'm mixing colors. So, you know, when is it gonna stop? When is reverse racism and just racism? When is reverse sexism and sexism gonna stop? America? That's my question. If I can find there's my rune book. Let's interpret what ancient oracle is telling us. And this is positive. I didn't allow it to be reversed. I don't do that unless I'm very careful with reverse. So the first one, and I was reading right to left here, or up to down, is number 9, is defense. So, you know, I am defending you against your own race and my race and your race and all races, saying, why are we still ripping each other up? I'm defending your true self as Kara of the Ministry of Uncovered No More. That's what this is telling you. If you want to know more, get the book, get the runes, start throwing for yourself. They will speak if you allow them. This author is so humble, it takes my breath away. I have already released that. It's still on one of my blogs, this book review. I'm going to move further with it. I have to go really slow with Ancient Oracle because I'm a spiritualist and I'm careful. Okay, so let's see. So that one itself is called Eiwaz, E-I-H-W-A-Z. And I am defending you from your own race and from the other races and from yourself, hating yourself. But when you pass it on and treat me like a piece of shit, you are a part of the problem, not the solution. Same for every one of my dear children and every one of your dear children. If you pass along ugly, you're part of the problem, not the solution. So you choose your poison, because I can reverse this defense, and I can tell you how ugly you are. But I am a righteous woman, and I don't like to do that. So you need to hear balance, whomever you are. You need to hear balance. You need to straighten your ass up, and you need to fly better than that. I know that the races have major issues in their lives, but it isn't going to do any good to keep it in our lives, public, private, wherever we live. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to you, where have you been? You certainly got your head in the sand. That should make sense to you, that we need to work harder than this and stop hitting each other. Second one is flow. I'll take that we are going to reverse racism better than this. See, you can read this 2 ways, where I told you young white men are struggling because people just put so much expectation on them and assume that they're ugly when they're nothing of the sort. Now, there's that kind of reverse racism, but here's the other one. Why aren't you hugging me, Black, Hispanic, Asian? I hug you all the time. I pray for you. I have nice conversations. Why aren't you coming up to white Kara and saying, you need some encouragement today? All of you stand at a distance and just let it happen, instead of doing what you know is correct, which is universalism. And then the government, we've got to vote and vote and vote, and that's what we can do. So let's flow in the proper reverse racism, shall we? The proper reverse racism. Let me show you what that is. That is Revelation chapter 22. I don't care if you're an agnostic. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care if you're a Buddhist, a Christian, a Muslim. Revelation 22 is for you and it's for me if you'll let it be and use your free will. And it's called universalism. Let's reverse racism the proper way. And it ain't being ugly with the white person standing next to you who uses the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Because I do. I use all of the hashtags for the people, by the people. I don't know what you do, but being ugly isn't good for any of us, no matter our skin color. So let's flow in the proper reverse racism, reverse sexism. Okay, so the second one is called Laguz. Have a nice week. Try to do some yard work or get out to a park and walk. COVID-19 has been difficult and I think it's caused some issues. I think that's part of it, but don't shy away from what I'm actually saying, America. Okay. Thank you for listening.